Hi friends! I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks lately and I thought I would share the best user-friendly free ways that I found with you guys. Probably my most favorite app is Librivox, and I think Librivox is very underrated. I think it should be promoted much more than it is because it's run by volunteers, and if you feel extra generous you can actually record your own audiobook and publish it for free for other users to enjoy. And it's very easy to use. It's just as user-friendly as Audible and it's free. You have a very simple layout where you can download books or search by genre or save your favorite books, and it saves when you are listening. You can go back a few minutes or seconds, rewind if you miss a part, and it's really good. I think it's a very good app and I think it should be promoted more, but strange enough, it's not. A fun fact. And the fun fact I found out was when I was looking for Amazon free audiobooks, all the ones that Amazon has are Librivox recordings. So really it's just Librivox, but they take a few books from Librivox and put them on Amazon Audible free audiobooks, which I don't really recommend because I think Librivox is much more nicer and it's run by volunteers and I prefer Librivox. One disadvantage it has though is that they don't really have a lot of modern books, so you won't really find the latest released even in the last few years, but it has a lot of classical books. But they have a lot of philosophy, a lot of classical literature, things that your teachers would tell you to read. And it's really good, easy reads while you go for a walk or while you clean around the house, whatever things you do. I've just enjoyed using Librivox a lot for just getting my knowledge of classical literature up and feel like, oh, I've read a few more books, but not really read, just listened while I clean. But I like Librivox. This is one of my favorite. It doesn't have a lot of like I said, new books, so you are going to miss out on some of the newer books on it, but I have alternatives, so this is my best app to use. Like I said, it doesn't have a lot of newer books, but it's my favorite app to use for classical philosophy, old books, really old books, like it has Aristotle, Plato's writings and more obscure books, I guess, but it's really interesting. Like you get to read books you thought you would, things that I used to like philosophy when I was in high school, and I've never really read philosophy except like paragraphs and short stories, but this way I can listen to Jean-Jacques Rousseau while going for a walk, although it's pretty difficult still, but it's easier to just listen to the audiobook and pick the parts you understand, and you feel like, oh, finally, I've read this book I heard so much about, and now I can say I've finally read it. And my next two alternatives for listening to free audiobooks are for newer books, because that's what we're missing. One is an app called Libby, and I'm pretty sure Libby had a different name before, because I used to have it, RGR something, and it disappeared from my phone and I kept looking for it. Where is this app? This app was great, but I found Libby and it's the same thing. It's basically an app for all the libraries of the world, so wherever you live, you can log into Libby, put your postcode in, and it's gonna give you whatever library is the closest to you or in your city. I think yeah, for me, I get all the libraries that are around Glasgow. And they put audiobooks and PDFs, and it's really easy to read. Once again, very user-friendly, very easy to use. You can save, bookmark, take notes. The disadvantage with it is that they don't really have a lot of audiobook, but it's a growing library, an ever-growing library, so it keeps growing, and the more time passes, the more they add newer audiobooks, so it's a good app to have to see what they add every week or every month. And they do have a lot of ebooks, so I like that as well. I do really like to download certain ebooks and you have them on your phone, just like you would with a Kindle app, but I'm not sure if you can use it on a Kindle, but it's fine for a tablet or a phone, and it's something that I have with me in my purse if I want to just read a book while I'm waiting somewhere and I don't want to put my headphones in just in case. I'm also enjoyable, but again, this is about audiobooks, so I'm sticking with audiobooks. They don't have that many options for audiobooks, but they have some, and they have newer ones, so that's a good option if you want to just browse and see what your local library has. And I know they are very big on US and UK libraries, so I'm not really sure how it is for countries outside US and UK. And my last option is a bit more shady. The other two are like, we should promote this app more, Librivox, Libby. Yeah, we should really support this free, independent, volunteer led apps, but this one is like, oh, if you can't find it in the other two good options, but then I find it quite strange. But YouTube, like YouTube audiobooks, they have a lot of audiobooks on YouTube, and I don't know why it took me so long to figure this one out. I think I was looking for a specific book and I couldn't find it, and then YouTube popped up with like, here it is, the audiobook, just listen to it on YouTube. And probably this is quite weird, but I didn't know about this. I never thought that YouTube has audiobooks, so it's worth a try if you are searching for newer books that you can't find on these two other apps, to just search it on YouTube. I also have a playlist whenever I find books that are interested, because now YouTube is recommending it to me. I guess I'm that shady user, and like, there you go, some free stuff you should have paid for or recommended on your For You page. The problem with using YouTube for audiobooks, except for not paying the authors, which, I mean, the books that I really like, I do buy them after, because I want to support the authors, but that's rare. Like, if I really, really like it, I'm gonna buy it, but never mind. The other bad part about YouTube that I listen to audiobooks on is that you need to have Wi-Fi or data, and if you are using YouTube to listen to audiobooks, I'm gonna assume that we also don't have free data, because that's me. And I can't listen to them outside my flat. I need to listen to them while I have Wi-Fi, or while I'm in a public place with Wi-Fi, and listen to my little YouTube audiobook. Which, to be fair, I don't think is that big of a drawback, because I can just put it in my headsets while I work out, or while I clean, or while I do something around the house, make my bed, or cook something. It's fine by me. Like, it's a good way to just get some listening of audiobooks while I do something around the house. But at the same time, if you prefer to listen to it outside for walks, and I have done that for some books that I felt like, oh, this is not inside the flat audiobook. I don't know if that makes sense, but it does to me. An even shadier option is to just download it as an MP3 and put it in your music player, and I'm embarrassed with myself, but yeah, that's what I do. If I want a free audiobook from YouTube, I'm gonna download it as an MP3, convert it, put it in my music player, and just remember the minute I was at when I stop it. Extra steps saves money. And YouTube actually remembers the minute you were at when you stop a video playing, so you can just go back to your recently listened books and just keep playing it from there. And one last option for me is, if I have a book that I can't find on Librivox, Libby, and I can't find it on YouTube, then I'm going to read it. I'm just gonna read it, okay? I'm just gonna search PDF download on Google and get that and read the PDF, or download the PDF on my phone and have it as an extra reading material while I wait on my phone. But that being said, I do still have books that I can't find with all these 4 methods, but it's usually very, very obscure books that I can't even find on Amazon, or I can't even find in libraries, and nobody knows about them. 2 books that I really, really want to read are George Sand's memoir, like My Life or something like that. It's 1,000 pages long, and I can't find it anywhere. I think I found it on like Amazon for like £50, and the other one was Geraldine Way's Dividends Don't Lie. I really want to read these 2 books, but they're like, I think it's like £100. They're both super expensive on Amazon, and they are nowhere else, and I can't find them. And I don't know how I managed to find, like, I'm such a cheapskate, and I still managed to find books that nobody has, and you need to pay so much for, that it makes up for all the other savings I'm making otherwise, probably. Regardless, I'll probably have to buy those books one day, because I'm very nosy. These are all the options I have for listening to audiobooks and reading ebooks online, but let me know if you have any other options. I would be really happy to check them out. And also let me know any book recommendation or what you're currently reading, because I'm nosy. Have a lovely day and see you next time. Bye bye!